Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and welcome to episode 2 of my Jurassic World Evolution 3 Ultimate Park build. Now, if you haven't seen the first video, I recommend you watch that before this one, because obviously there will be spoilers for what happens, and I do just generally outline what I'm going to be doing in this series. But without further ado, let's get right into this. So as you'll see me doing here, I am continuing where we left off last time with designing this kind of hub arrival area, which I guess we'll first walk into. So I had this massive building, which you'll see I built last time, which is kind of the big spectacle that guests will see when they first enter the park, along with the dinosaur who's going to be going in here, which we will not be adding today, unfortunately. That will be in the next episode. We get onto that. But yeah, most of this building has been done. It was now just a, a task of adding in the finer details, which, of course, if you know what I was like last time and what I said, I absolutely love the foliage in this game. So, of course, there was going to be foliage added on to this build. So, I used these little planters on either side of the building and just put in some bushes, some flowers, just a little bit to spice things up a little bit. But with that building has been finished, I believe. I might go back and make small changes to the front areas, but other than that, it's mostly done. So it was time for even more foliage. This time not in planters. I wanted to have kind of this. I wanted to have natural areas around the place where we would just have massive bushes, trees, just to make it look a bit more wild. And some places, such as the arrival point I built last time, and on the hill behind this place, I used the foliage brushes that the game gives you, just because they were large areas. But on areas like this that are next to the path, I wanted to make my own foliage. So I just made these bushes, I made them into blueprints, and then copy and pasted them all around this building, and then added in some more trees afterwards. I think sometimes the foliage brushes are really useful for covering the large areas, but when you want to do the smaller areas, which you'll be seeing more in detail and up close, it's better to or at least I prefer making my own custom foliage areas, just because I know what I want out of it, and the foliage brushes don't always give me what I want. So by doing it myself, I'm able to actually ensure I get the end product I want out of it. But yeah, man, I think that looks pretty good. I decided to add in some orange and red trees just to spice up the area a bit more. Um, yeah, now is the foliage for now done. There is going to be more around the other buildings I placed down here, and just everywhere there's going to be foliage in this part, basically. But then I wanted to have another big spectacle in the center of this hub area, so I decided to use these fountains. You'll see I've got a design going here. I wasn't too big of a fan of that, so I decided to change that a little bit and actually use these statues on the fountain instead. You'll see I'm putting them to the side now, but I do go back and change that and actually have them on the fountain. I really like these statue pieces though. They all look really good. I don't quite have all of them at this point. I'll probably try and get them all at some point, but I've got enough that I'm happy with them. So yeah, I put a big T-Rex one right in the center of this area, because obviously the T-Rex is just like, if you want a big spectacle, the T-Rex is who you're gonna go for. Um, yeah, I made this fountain design, and then what I did was I just made this into a blueprint and copy and pasted it around the area. You'll see I do that in a minute. I put one on either side of the area, one to the right and one to the left. It's a nice framing thing. This one in the middle was the largest. The other two I made slightly smaller, for a bit of balance. But I then wanted to use these other statue pieces. You get these copper pieces, and line them around the fountain. I think it gave it a really cool effect. Yeah, I really like that. That is the fountain I decided to go for. And yeah, you'll see now this is what I meant. I'm putting one on either side, and I decided to put a different statue on either of them. I think, yeah, Triceratops I put, or what was it? No, Ankylosaurus I put on this one, and the other one I put Allosaurus. And Allosaurus is going to be the first dinosaur that goes into this park. I will be adding them in the next episode. There will be two of them, so any name suggestions will be welcome in the comments below. As I'm yet to actually give them names. Yeah, that is what Allosaurus is just one of my favorite dinosaurs in this game. I think both in real life and in the game. It just looks really cool. And yeah, just going with a big T-Rex, I was just a bit basic. Like I wanted to do something a bit different. So I decided to go with Allosaurus. Still a big dinosaur, big carnivore will attract the guests in and looks really cool. So then I decided these little areas in the middle around the fountain, which just grass looked a bit boring at the moment. So I decided to use these brick tiles and line them around the edge, and then I filled the inside of it with this sandy gravel. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I thought it looked quite nice. Just having the grass there looked a bit boring, I think. So going with this, it kind of contrasts the pathing and the outside areas quite nicely, I thought. Yeah. Then I do this to the other two fountains I put up as well. Obviously, there wasn't an exact area for me to fill in, so I just made like little circles around the fountains, which actually came out quite nice. You'll see me do that in just a minute once I'm finished with this main area. Yeah, as I said last time, the next few episodes have already been pre-recorded, so I think the point I'm at now is like 5 episodes deep, just because it takes so long for me to record and edit all of these videos. Like each video is several hours of content, which I have to film, edit, and then record these voiceovers for. So it takes quite a while to do, which is why I opted to pre-record a lot of the footage. Um, yeah, it won't really impact it. Obviously, I already had a generic plan for what I would do going forward, but any suggestions you guys have would be more than welcome to help this park out as it goes forward. And here you'll see me doing what I was just talking about to these other two fountains, making a little circle that went around them, just like that. And you'll see I did put some little spotlights on the fountains to kind of illuminate the statues I'd placed in. As I was saying last time, lighting is also important for me in this game. It is, I just have to have good lighting. Things have to look good at both day and night time, so having lights like this just bring the whole place to life at night. But yeah, after I'd done this little circle, it was easy enough for me to put it on the other one because obviously I just had to, copy and paste it over. And yeah, there we go. That is this hub area pretty much done, to be honest. I did add some like benches and bins around the place, and some more lights on the floor, some lampposts, just to liven it up a bit. But then it was time for me to move on to this other building I had put in to this hub area, which just had some amenities in, just to get the crowds over this way. Same thing I did with that other building, which I had an attraction point in and then two amenities in. This one I had, actually no, it was one amenity I had here and then a restroom to the side of it as well. Um, just to satisfy guest needs. I know I got sandbox settings turned on and all that, so it don't really matter. But I still want guests to be in here. And without stuff like this, they won't come in. Yeah. So I went with the same building design I had for all the other buildings, going with multiple layers on it as well, not doing the box. Yeah, so the blue brick on the bottom and the wood at the top, and then I did I put a seating area on? I think I did put a seating area on this one. Um, yeah, on the like right bit, where that platform is, I believe I put seating on that one. We'll find out soon. Anyway, but yeah, the same pillars I used on this one. Um, just keeping that theme going for now. There's later areas where I do decide to go down a different style of buildings, but for these ones here, um, as they were so close together, I thought it would be quite nice to have them all in one style of building. Just have that like theme going across, make everything feel connected. Okay, yes, I did put seating on this one. As you can see, I'm making a little barrier so guests can't just walk off the building. I know guests can't actually come up here, but again, what I was saying, why I want to make some areas a bit realistic. There's other areas which won't be, like the dinosaurs enclosures, they won't be realistic. But the guest areas, I can try and make them look a bit more realistic. Just putting barriers in to make it look like guests can't go wherever the hell they want. Um, yeah, and just little stuff like that is what I like putting in my parks. Just little attention to details. It makes the whole thing come to life, in my opinion. And of course, I need a door up here because otherwise, how on earth will guests gonna get up here? And then it was the general building had been finished by this point, so it was time to go to the finer details, which started out with the big statue pieces, which I had put around this hub area already. I wanted to kind of continue that theme on these ones as well. So the copper dinosaur statues came in, the two I hadn't used on the other one, I decided to put them on here, and also use the two I had previous used on this upstairs area as well. Lighting, of course, was also going to be included on this build. Um, yeah, using the same lights I had on the other one. Little lights on the floor to light the way for guests. Yeah, I think, did I do anything else on this building? No, I think that was it for this one. This one is still a decently sized building. It's obviously smaller than the other one, but I didn't want it to be quite as big. The other one is the main spectacle for the guests, so that one kind of had to stand out a bit more. And then it was once again time for my favourite thing, foliage. So the set, I already have the bushes and the blueprints already made up. I just had to remove some of the plants I'd put in already in this area from the foliage brushes and reshape the terrain a bit in order to actually give myself space to work with, because a lot of the room was already taken up. Yeah, these blueprints I've made, I was using them all over this area. They're not my favourite brushes now looking back on it. Like, when I was doing it, I thought, oh, they look really cool. But now looking back on it, I think I would change it up a bit and maybe not put as many down. It just feels a bit repetitive in my mind. I might go back and change it later, actually, but no, I probably won't. It will probably stay the same. I did also make new blueprints for this area, which was included a bigger bush using these flowering bushes, just to play with height a bit because it was all looking a bit flat. These other ones I had in, so I made these bigger bushes, which helped it a bit, but still, I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. I'm saying I'm not a fan of it when I'm the one who made it. I was happy with it at one point. I'm no longer happy with it. And then it was time for the trees. I used the same trees I had before behind the other building, starting out with the green ones, which would make up the majority of the forest, and then adding in some of the same trees in an orange, red, and yellows, just to make a bit, just to give it a bit more color, make that color pop out a bit more. Um, yeah, but that was pretty much this area. The hub area has now been done, which means in the next episode we can finally get on to adding our first dinosaurs into the park and making our hatchery area. So yeah, I'm really excited to add in those Allosaurus. Let me know if you have any ideas for this part going forward. If you have any name suggestions for the two Allosaurs I will be putting in next time, please let me know them in the comments below. Um, yeah, but now it was just time for me to add in finishing touches, but that is pretty much everything I had to do. Just lights, benches, and bins, just so it doesn't look like this empty, expansive pathway, which I guess we'll be walking on, but there's nothing there. I didn't want to have that, just big empty areas. That would be a bit boring. Yeah, I am really happy with how this hub area has turned out, and I'm really excited to move forward with this park and show you what else I have made in this park. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.